Hello everybody, welcome back to German Auto Works, where you find us at Donington with the STW-inspired E36. Now, we did actually get it ready for the track day, but we haven't really filmed much, so we're going to show you exactly what we did with the car in this video and run you through all of the parts. Now, we've got that lovely gear motive gearbox in there, so you're going to have some proper sequential action in this film. We're going to give you a full rundown of everything that we put on this car later on in the video, but for now, let's get out on track.
At the end of the day, the day got it. I just did through the process. I don't really want no problems. Niggas ain't got no merit. Niggas ain't got no. She love us to me. I'm liberating my spirit. Free sounds on the roof. Dick sauce like Poupon. For the bay like Cool John. Race cars on boss up. What if it's ugly? I know they know. I keep shit cautious. Trying to be booed up. You don't know what I'm about. Act like you knew us. I'ma be him to the coffin. I'm back in the gym, I'm balling. I'm back on the gym with a tonic. I'm trying to fill up my pocket. She want me to hit in the body. I'm trying to cut me a rocket, get high as a scout when I wanted no problem. Stress-free living, now I did my time. My mind was prison. Now the safest laced with plenty pages, bitch, I'm winning. Sick when you see me beat my curses, I deserve it. See me pushing down 580, heavy grinning. I could tell I know they mad, cause I know my purpose. I'm about my bag, cause I deserve it. I'm about my bag.
That's right, bro.
Hands on the wheel.
I'll go see right now.
I'm about my bag, cause I deserve it. I'm about my bag, and I know my purpose. Hands on the wheel, you can see me swerving.
And we've instantly been chucked off track for being too loud. Hello? Hello? Back in the workshop. Now that didn't go quite to plan because we was a smidge over on the noise, so we did actually get chucked off. However, the day was a success. I wasn't actually driving myself for undisclosed reasons. I can't drive on those track days.
Ah, cheeky boy.
But we did have our speedy American in the car, which he absolutely loved, and his name is Mr. K. Now, with the build being so large and the timelines being so small, we wasn't actually able to film a complete documentary of us building this car. But what we can do for you is show you the whole car, everything that we did, why we did it, and do a nice walk around. And I will say we've got loads of other cars in the pipeline to show you in videos in the future. But for now, let's have a look at the E36. So starting at the back of the car here, we can see that it is almost a show car. It didn't start life this way. This is a 1998 E36, born in Germany, but brought to the UK, Rustiesville. So we had to completely strip everything down. It is the original subframe. They are the original trailing arms, but they've been powder coated. All lovely, lovely. We have the Moton three-way suspension, true coilover all round. Absolutely lovely. You can just change your settings there. And then we've got the canisters in the back of the car, which we'll show you later. We've got the MRT adjustable arms, which help us get that tuck that we need for the STW, but also the camber settings that we desire. We've got the LSD here. So the car actually had a 3:9:1 ratio when it was an automatic. It's now a manual. So we nicked the 3:9:1 ratio, put it on a limited slip unit, got it done at Dave's. That is absolutely fantastic. We've got the rev shift, poly bushes all round. That's going to stiffen everything up, but not hard. It's not solid. It's got a little bit of give because it is an old chassis at the end of the day. Fuel tank wise, we wanted to run the original fuel tank, but we knew that there was going to be some starvation issues on the track if we did that. So the solution was a swirl pot. We then ran some braided lines all the way up and over towards here where the braided lines go through and into the boot where we will show that setup.
Nice, mate.
Moving on to the exhaust. Now the exhaust is a little bit of a Frankenstein because we have the S54 up front and we kind of have an E36 body. So what we did was we bought an E36 M3 exhaust system and then we bought the front decap pipes from an S54. We then married them up here in the middle and that then created a nice exhaust for us. So that was that sorted. You can see no under seal. The reason for that was, of course, in the other videos you would have seen, we got the whole car acid dipped, all in metal, so there was literally no paint left, and then the whole car got painted on a rotisserie. So it looks absolutely mint under here. Moving on, you can see the sequential gearbox. Now, some of you might be looking at this thinking, wow, that just looks like a standard gearbox. Yes, it is a standard gearbox because they've shoehorned in the sequential box into it, which really helps because we can run an original prop shaft and original bell housing. It all just goes in, it's lovely. At the front, S54, again, similar business as the back. We've got everything powder coated, everything new that can be new. The MRT arms here in the style of the touring car, which is great. The ASTs, the brakes, some lovely Pro 5000Rs at the front there. The CP9660s, they're from Rayland. Honestly, best brakes out there really. To be honest, I think everyone can kind of agree on that for the price. Now, it was a right-hand drive car and we've converted it to left-hand drive, which was harder than I thought it was going to be, but we achieved it. So let's bring it down now, halfway level, and show you the other nice things on this car. All right, halfway, we can start at the back here. I did a lot of work to these rear arches to get them to look like this. You'll see the reason why when it's on the ground, but in our other videos, we had to actually manually hammer these rear arches out. Now, I did that, and then to be honest, the credit should go to the body shop because they actually had to then make my work look nice, and they did. It looks absolutely lovely. It gives that bubbled effect. We're running some Pro Tracks. These are only 8Js. They are running slicks, some 240, 640, 18 slicks. You don't really need massive wheels for an E36. It's light, it's very, very light, and with the slick tyres, we can go nice and thin. We've got standard rear calipers with some drilled and grooved discs. At the back, again, because of the lightness, we don't need massive brakes at the back. At the front, however, you can now see our lovely Pro 5000Rs, and tucked behind here is an air jack. So we will actually have air jacks on this car. They're currently not plumbed in, but they will be, and they shoot out underneath to lift the car up. Ooh. Front of the car, we can see we've got the STW style front bumper. So what it actually is the most basic SE bumper, and then that gets cut off at this point here. The lower lip gets installed. Some people rivet them like the original cars. I didn't really like the look of the rivets, so we actually just bonded it on. Bondant these days, compared to back in the 90s, is better than rivets and stuff like that. So we bonded that on. We are running the original AC fan as a push fan, just keeping some of that original look. I think they work absolutely fine. And yeah, so that's that. We're going to bring it down now and show you the engine bay and the interior. Before we actually show you the engine bay, I do want to show you the car coming down because I absolutely love how these rear wheels fit, and you'll see exactly why we had to bubble those rear arches. Oi, and there we go. So the reason why we needed to bubble this is because we need that tuck right up into the inner wheel arch area, and this isn't actually as low as the car can go. It's just that the fronts pose a problem when you go really low, so we kind of leveled the car out. But if we wanted to, that could go all the way down to about here. So there's loads of room inside that inner wheel arch area after we cut it all out. But as it stands, this sits so lovely. And whilst it's down, we might as well talk about the STW spoiler. Now, a lot of viewers will probably be looking at that going, I don't like that. But this is what they look like in the era. Obviously, aero was a new thing back then, and I just think it looks cool. You know, it's something different to the GT spoiler that everyone else fits. It suits the car, in my opinion. But let me know what you think about the rear spoiler in the comments, whether it's a yay or a nay. Hopefully yays. We will get to the front, I promise you, but before we get to the front, let's look in the back here. Start to understand. So we have the full interior painted in the same colour, skyscraper grey. You can see our swell pot set up down here. So we've got a regulator, a swell pot, and what that does is allows a surplus of 1.5 litres of fuel that will always be served to the engine, even if the main tank is surging. So when you're going around those heavy corners, even if the main tank can't pick up, you're still having a surplus of 1.5 litres here, which will run the engine for over a minute, just that small amount of fuel. We've also got the lovely 3-way Moton adjusters on some nice 3D printed parts. So that's just keeping it nice. You might have also noticed this, which is the air jack receiver. We didn't want it to be outside the car, we wanted it inside. So we're going to come along, put air in there, and then the 3 air jacks will deploy, the car will lift up. At the back here, you can then see that we ran our fuel line through the car, and you can see this lovely roll cage that was done by Sean Goslin. We'll just take another little peek of the lines that you can see running through the car. Run over the other side, they come down. They do actually tee here because we wanted a place to remove the fuel out of the fuel tank for when it goes racing. Then it makes its way down the driver's side to the engine bay. All right, the engine bay, here it is. A beautiful S54 married up to a Carbonious carbon intake. It looks absolutely lovely, it sounds absolutely lovely, and to be honest with you, well worth the money. Accompanying the airbox and the S54, we have the front of the Motons with the nice 3-way adjusters attached here. We've got a lovely billet oil filter cap, nice little piece there. We've opted to put the battery in the engine bay, and that's running a little i3 battery. We've got the Cartec isolator, which hasn't been linked up yet, but it will be. The engine is actually standard at the moment. The reason for that is the car is so light. It's literally just a fraction under 1,100 kilos, and the S54 provides plenty of power. We do have options to put cams in it in the future if we wanted to, but for now, just happy enjoying the engine as it is. I must say, the engine with the gearbox ratio and the 391 at the back is so punchy around the track. It would really punch well above its weight out there. Panel wise, in terms of the car, we do have the metal original panels, doors, boot lid, bonnet. We haven't lightened them because if we were going for absolute lightweight, we would have put fiberglass on, but it kind of takes away the polishedness of the car when you put fiberglass, so we stick with the metal. For that, we needed some aero catches, so I've inset some aero catches into the bonnet so that it can just plonk down, and then you're nice and safe. You don't have to keep, yeah, it's all right, isn't it? Do your ones do that? No, probably not, because I spent about 4 hours getting them right, but that's the kind of level that we go to. We don't want to keep going to the engine bay to open it up. So yeah, lovely, pop, pop, and then up she goes. So yeah. Now these front fenders, or wings, depending on whether you're from this side of the pond or not, they're from Flossman, and they were based on the original STW arches. However, they're not very good. They didn't fit very nice. We actually had Jesse come over from Grorslick, and he showed us in real life an original wing, and these are nowhere near the same shape. So if you're going to do one of these, I would not go for these. I would go, if you can, for original ones, or maybe someone's going to make some better ones. Because we spent far too many hours getting these to work. We actually had to reprofile the whole opening just to get the wheels to fit, and when we're turning, the arches were coming down too low, and it was just a nightmare. So on those wings, and that's the honest truth. We're honest here, we're honest. Yeah, and the panel gaps because of it are not that great. But it is what it is. It's a motorsport car, and it went around the track and we loved it. Now let's show you the interior of the car. We've got a couple nice things to show you in there. Moving on to the interior of the car, we've kept it nice and simple, clean looking. You can see down the right hand side here, we've got the brake lines and the fire extinguisher lines running along the tunnel, and then on the driver's side, you can see we've got the fuel line, which runs up to the engine bay. Steering wheel wise, we wanted to keep it nice and simple, period correct. So we've gone for a nice simple Sparco steering wheel. In the center here, we've got a lovely carbon fiber console based off the original STW that we've now modified so that it sits deeper into the dash. And then we've got our lovely gear motive sequential shifter, all nice and billet material, anodized in black, and it's got the strain gauge built into the shifter here so that we can do some gear cuts. So that feels really nice, really positive engagement. At the moment we've got the original cluster. We are going to be putting in the ECU Master ADU, and I think we'll probably have a nice cam pad around here to actuate some of the electrics in the car. I'm sitting on a Sparco seat with some lovely Schroff 6-point harnesses, and it's just a real nice, clean and simple area to be in. Window wise, we have gone for some polycarbonate ACW windows with a GT slider so that we can get a little bit of ventilation in the car. One of my favourite things is to always have a clean dash install. In this case, it actually went into the vent here, so I cut the vent around it, got it nice and neat. So that's it, that's the E36 for now. We will be doing another video on it at a track that doesn't have such a strict noise restriction, and probably one that I'm not banned at, so that I can drive it. But if you do want to see the car, we are going to be taking it to Ultimate Stance in Telford in October the 25th? 26th. So you can see the car there along with a couple other cars we've got in the workshop, and I would love to meet you all and have a chat. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.